Righty then, the reports, if you were to believe them, look like Marcus Rashford was on his way out, and then Marcus Rashford himself basically dropped a statement in an interview with Henry Winter, which suggested, as strong as I've ever seen any player, that he would be leaving Manchester United. I think it's a sad day. I think waving goodbye to what's been a real ambassador of Manchester United. And I believe he'll go. I'm all right with it. You want to see the state of our group chat? Makola is in absolute tatters with it. He's wounded. I feel like it felt like it's been coming. Maka's excuse was he likes to bury his head in the sand until it's too late, which makes so much sense. I felt like it's been coming, to be honest. And I think there'll be an attempt to move him on. Whether or not we're successful, I don't know who the suitors are for him that can afford him. His wages are substantial. That it's going to require someone taking a gamble on that they can get him back to form, rather than you wouldn't pay for him and sign him on the wages and that he's on now, on the form he's on now. So someone's have to try and predict that they can get him back, and I don't know who that's going to be. But he needs replacing. For a Manchester United point of view, you're going to have to bring somebody in, someone of a suitable profile, and someone that's hopefully going to guarantee us some level of goals and assists and options. And it might not be the same player, like for like. It's going to have to be someone that can maybe adapt into a slightly different role that we'd be looking for from the team. But either way, I thought I'd put together a little list of players that I think are potential replacements for Rashford. So let's get into it. The first one then that I think would be a decent one is a player that I've liked, seen him with my own eyes as well, and I do like him, and that's Rafael. So he plays well on his day for AC Milan, and when given the opportunity to strut his stuff, he does it. The 23-24 season, he finished strong. He had 15 goals and 14 assists in 47 appearances, playing about 4,000 minutes for the club. He's also a consistent feature for Portugal, shows his willingness to continually feature in a squad that's packed full of talent and ability to feature in a squad that's packed full of talent. He has a solid output of goals and assists for his country as well. But if he's not scoring or assisting, his usefulness doesn't end there. He is a disruptor. He's a player that demands focus, he demands attention, and that could be enough to give another player space to make things meaningful happen. Now, I don't think he's without his downsides, and I think a lot of the players that we're going to be looking at will have significant downsides, because I don't think we've got like unlimited budget. Let's go and find the best player in the world here. I think you have to cut your cloth accordingly a little bit. Work rate has been subject of a little bit of debate. I think that gets over-exaggerated, but this could be a cause for concern if you're Amorim. You don't want to go like for like and swap someone with inferior work rate with another player with inferior work rate. If you're unhappy with Marcus's work rate, you might be unhappy with Leao's work rate, certainly off the ball. There are questions about consistency. There are periods when he doesn't seem to register for a while, but this often appears to be a product of the opposition that he's facing. He is on 6 goals and 6 assists in 21 appearances this season. That's not bad. That's not terrible, but it doesn't scream value when his price tag will probably be quite high. Number 2, possibly my favourite one on this list, Nico Williams. A hell of a lot of positive press for him recently. His performances at the Euro showed what he can do on a big stage, and he came home with a winner's medal around his neck. He could be a good replacement for Rashford. He would be more like for like, I think, than someone that would go in and fit the system a little bit better. Barcelona have been desperate to sign him for quite some time, but their financial issues have sort of kept them from being able to go in for the kill with him. This situation could play into our hands. If Williams is getting cold feet on a transfer to Barcelona, maybe Old Trafford could be the place to tempt him. Reports in Spain from September reckon that he rejected offers from 3 clubs, including Barcelona, Atletico and Real Madrid. Does that mean that he doesn't want to leave, or does that mean that he doesn't want to play in Spain and play against his club? Now, as a player, he's absolutely rapid. The acceleration is such an asset for him. He's a constant, ever-present threat from wide areas. The footwork's good. He's got ridiculous change of pace, change of direction. He can unravel defenders 1v1. Defensive work rate, massive plus as well. I think he's the sort that Amorim would really love. And I think another plus side is that he could translate well into one of the dual 10 positions that Amorim likes to play with. He traditionally tends to hold the width for both Bilbao and Spain, but he also has shown evidence to occupy the central areas when rotating because he likes to come in, create space, and also crash the box. I think he's very tactically aware with his positioning. He seems to escape attention and has the nous to sort of exploit gaps in the opposition defence. His reading of the game is fantastic. He's still only 22 years of age. I think he's got a real good range of passing, and his crossing would work really well for the likes of Højlund. I think he's got character. I think he's got composure. I think he's got determination. And I think he, for me, is the best on this list, should Rashford go. The only problem is Bilbao don't like selling, and you're going to pay for it. It is what it is. Pedro Goncalves, a quintessential Ruben Amorim player. Doesn't really get more quintessential than Pedro, really. You can't define work ethic and ambitious play without seeing him, but he brings both and more, actually, in abundance. He is a goal threat with a real impressive instinct for scoring. He seems to be a bit of a natural player for progressive passing, chance creation, and even abilities to come and recover the ball. Very adaptable, a bit of a jack of all trades in the sporting front line. He's occupied every single position that Amorim has asked for him. And he's done so well, whether that's on the left, down the middle, down the right. He's very, very balanced, and he can do everything that's required of him. He's got the technical ability that you could only dream of. He's probably the cheapest option on this list, but he also could be a very safe bet with Amorim knowing exactly what to expect from him. I think a lot of United fans are probably put off going, no, I want to just turn into like Sporting 2.0, a little bit like we did with Ajax. But I do think there's something for players that the gaffer knows. Another one that I really like, and it would depend on the price or if you just get him for free because he is out of contract at the end of the season, and that's Son Heung-min. Now, he is the oldest one. He is the only Premier League proven one. And I think he's still one of the most lethal and consistent forwards. He's had a little bit of an injury, but he still absolutely comes in and improves this Manchester United side. Not only that, he absolutely suits that left side number 10. Half space kind of role. Signing Son would be a big statement to the rivals about our intention to challenge quickly, because he isn't like, would one for the future, one for he's not a Lenny Euro. Let's see how he develops. He could end up being world class. He's like, no. We're going to go for stuff right now. His ability to adapt to different situations makes him great. He doesn't look like he's declining just yet. I think he would link up exquisitely with some of the other players in the squad. The only area where he seems to be worsening with age is his injury, which is valid, but his injury record's not ridiculous. It's just he's had an injury recently. He's up there with Spurs' all-time goal contributors. If you're looking for a short-term solution to Rashford's potential exit, Son could be fantastic. I think the biggest positive with the deal is, you might get a fee if you want him in January, but it won't be a big one. Or you can get him for free. Free is a good price. Free is a good price to fix a problem right now. Typically, Spurs are a terrible club to do business with. Daniel Levy is literally a Bond villain. And no doubt he would make it a near impossibility for Son to sign for a Premier League rival. But he's not involved when the contract expires. So I think the possibility of losing him for free in 6 months' time, or get something for him in January, means that United are in a really strong position. Reports say that Tottenham have got no plans to offer him a new contract. He's going to be a huge loss for him. He's free. He's free. He's a great option for free. And do you know what? If it doesn't work, sign someone else the year after. You're not gonna go backwards by signing him. Put it that way. And then Cavare. I'm not even attempting to pronounce his name because I don't know how to pronounce his name, but you know what I mean. He is a player that's got to be on United's radar. He's on every top club's radar in Europe. I think the only reason he's not been signed is because people actually can't pronounce him in meetings. When he's on form, he scores a goal a game, or at least a goal every other game. He is a very consistent player, seems to thrive in positions that allow him to play off the striker like a shadow striker. again, perfect for that left side number 10 kind of role. I think he would relish the opportunity to replace Marcus Rashford, probably relish the opportunity to wear the number 10 shirt as well, to be honest with you. You can't guarantee much, but I guarantee that is an improvement on Rashford's work rate. He doesn't have he hasn't had the trademark start to the season this year. But I think that probably plays into United's hands when you come to negotiations. He's played in 17 games. He's got 5 goals and 3 assists up to this point. Again, it's not terrible. It's not fantastic, but it's certainly not terrible. And I think he translates well to the Premier League. He is physically strong. He is quick. He's relentless. There's a lot of comparisons to Mo Salah, which I think are quite valid in terms of the way he plays. I think he could be brutal for United. He's a right footer that plays off the left. He can play anywhere in that front line. He's played up top. He's played on the right. He obviously plays on the left most of the time. But at 23, Cavare's ceiling it's whatever he wants it to be, I think. He's so powerful, so aggressive, and I think in the right team he could genuinely take off like a rocket and do Mo Salah sort of numbers. Could that be Ruben Amorim's sort of key to a title? Reports seem to say that every single top club is considering him, or has considered him at least once in the past year. PSG, Barcelona, Liverpool have all had notable interest in him. Liverpool see him as a potential replacement for Mo Salah. And obviously the Salah comparisons continue. Salah wasn't known to be a massive goal assist a game in Italy. He finished Roma with 34 goals and 21 assists in 83 games. Cavare's on 83 appearances, and he's got 28 goals and 24 assists in Serie A as well. So it's not too dissimilar. It's almost identical, actually. Napoli will demand a high price tag for him. He might be the dearest one on this list. They value him at around about 100 million euros. He's got 2.5 years left on his contract, so it's advantage Napoli in terms of trying to get him out of there. But those are the options. He's the Hollywood option. He is the Hollywood option. I think Nico Williams is the one that I would like to see, but you've also got Son for free. You've got the one that he's already worked with, and then you've got the little bit of an outlier there in Rafael. So some options there, enough for everyone's take, I would think, and enough for the United board to be able to go, do you know what? There's definitely one of these that we can get over the line. You've seen my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts. And which of these do you think is the most realistic for us to get? We did come so close to another academy player reaching legendary status at the club, but if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. It's Manchester United first. Let's see if we can get in. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.